And I just have to go in there, dig up the pipe, make a splice in the pipe, and then put this back in place. Anyway, I found this kind of sitting beside the side. Looks like I may have a hole right here. I bought this as a kit at Home Depot, and what they do is they sell Rainbird sprinkler heads, and then they have this little plastic part that screws into the bottom, and then it's got the 1/2-inch barbs on the side. Most people that do sprinkler systems, they actually run PVC pipe underground, and then they have like a connector that pops off and the wing kind of flies off. But anyway, I guess this was a cheap way of getting around it. But anyway, you just run your 1/2-inch pipe, and then you screw your sprinkler head directly into the bottom of it. But I have to repair one of these. It's actually broken, just basically from time, and I just have to go in there, dig up the pipe, make a splice in the pipe, and then put this back in place. Turn on the zone and see if I can verify exactly where this went in place. So let me go to Rachio, we go to irrigation, and I want to show the disabled because I disabled this zone so it wouldn't run. And this is the southwest garden, and I'm going to do a quick run of the zone, and there's the water coming in. So I've stopped it, and I know that's where my break is. So let me get the shovel out, go ahead and dig it out and make the repairs. Dig out right here, give me some working space, and I want to dig it deeper. As time has gone on, the soil washes away, but I'm going to bury it deeper. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the sprinkler head. First thing I got to do is I've got to unscrew the existing mount off. I'm just using a pair of needle nose pliers. On this connector right here, I'm just going to put Teflon tape. What this Teflon tape does is it just takes up the tiny little areas between the grooves and the inside to prevent as much of a leak as possible. That in there like that, and just screw it in place. There we go. Got it right there, make a splice, lengthen the pipe a little bit, and I'll make my sprinkler head right there. Because I'll actually go ahead and make my little piece of pipe. So I'm going to cut off the end just to make sure that part didn't stretch or something. I'm just gonna pop my sprinkler head in place. I'm gonna make a cut here somewhere to put my head in place, and then I'll make a cut or a splice there. Go ahead and get that part ready. Just got one of these double connectors here. So where I want to cut is I just want to cut as far over as possible. So let me go ahead and cut the pipe, let the extra water drip out. All right, so we've made our first splice. Now what I'm going to do is I need to cut this piece, but I want to cut it a little longer to allow my area to kick this out a little bit. So I just use my finger to get an idea. There we go. And then let's push it in place. I'm going to do a border and put pine straw in. And so I don't really mind if it sits a little bit above the level here, but as you can see, we've lost about maybe an inch of dirt here just through regular erosion. Anyway, I'm just gonna put the dirt back in. And we're gonna turn it on and see which direction it's pointing. So we have a problem with another one somewhere. And look, this one here is missing. So, looks like the landscapers took care of more than just one of these. I had the sprinkler line in here, and then I needed another sprinkler head over there to pick up an area that was kind of not getting hit with anything else. And so the quickest point I found was to run it through from here. Let me just go ahead and dig this up. But what I did was I extended this pipe to go over there. And again, when I did this pipe was deeper than this. But this worked just fine because I can put a valve in here. With that valve there, I could stop the water from running. Let's turn the southwest garden back on. Damaged the sprinkler head. So anyway, I think it's somewhere around here. I'm not exactly certain, but I need to repair the sprinkler head because we are actually on the edge of a drought. I've got a sprinkler head here that needs to be repaired. I've got a sprinkler head over here next to my neighbor's lawn that needs to be repaired. I've already repaired the sprinkler head underneath that green and yellow shrub, and then I've got a sprinkler head way back in the back. So I lost 4 sprinkler heads this year, the most I've had. Now I don't know if it's just because the plastic that they're made out of kind of gets old. We did not really have a cold winter, didn't really have too many freezes or anything like that would go, 6 to 8 inches down. So anyway, we'll just I guess that's part of owning a sprinkler system, is knowing that you're going to have to repair it from time to time. First things first is I don't exactly know where the sprinkler head is. So let me log into my Rachio app, and I'm going to turn it on and run it for a couple seconds just to see where the water comes out from. So now we know where our break is. Now, like a surgeon, let's go in there and open her up. What I have for the adventure is I have a shovel, I have a pair of gloves, I have some Rainbird coupler extension cables, short section of Rainbird pipe, 1/2-inch pipe. I've got a connector, a piece of tape, and I got a new Hunter sprinkler head. And I guess these things now come shipped with the sprinkler nozzle in it. So it's got the nozzle and the head in there. So what I'm going to do, dig up here, find the connection inside where it's broken, cut it, splice it together, put the new connector in there, and dig it a little bit deeper, make sure that it doesn't stick up above the ground, and we'll be ready to go. The most important tool when you're kneeling down is a pad. Right there is the culprit. So let's look at our sprinkler head. Go ahead and prep our connector. One thing that's good about irrigation sprinkler lines is that they don't have water on all the time. So if there is a bust in the pipe or a failure, The leak is only going to occur for the period in which the timer has for it to be on and watering. Go ahead and put this pipe in place. The coupler connector on. I'm going to cut this pipe to the length that I can make that coupler work. A little bit short. Okay, look at that. Pat sprinkler system down in there as much as possible. The dirt back in there. What I may end up happening is if this breaks again, if it gets hit by a lawnmower or something down the road, I may just put a splice and move it over here. The next step is I need to figure out what's wrong with this sprinkler zone here. And actually here is the sprinkler head right here. And it seems to be loose and broken, but it doesn't come out. So I'm gonna need to dig into that. Pipe or a root, and that was the pipe. The other pipe where it needs to be. Coupler on there. Just going to cut a little bit off and let's muscle it in place. There we go. All right, let me move the stuff from getting wet, and we'll fire her up. All right, we have a go. Let's just point it in the correct direction. This is the one that's end of line. We brought back this one here. We have a tiny one here for this corner here, and this corner needs a lot of love. We can return the love back. I've got one more of these to repair, and so let me go knock that one out. The one to repair is somewhere in this area right here. In fact, this is the hole right here. Now, I've got to be careful when I do this one because I ran two sprinkler lines through here. I ran both the drip irrigation pipe that's on the top and the actual sprinkler line that's on the bottom. And this area, this clay, is just so hard. And then you've got roots in here and everything, but there's the break. And if you look at it, this water, the water has washed away. It's washed away a lot of the soil back here, so it's not as deep. None of these are as deep as they used to be, and that's why I tend to put them in planters now. I've dug it out a little bit deeper here, and I'm going to put my extension cable, my extender in this pipe here. I'm running this one over here to give it more depth. I'm probably going to even grab some fabric staples to pound it in. Pop Well, replaced it with a clean nozzle. And now we're spraying away. I'm gonna need to move these branches. Got this one here, let's give it some more juice. Let's get to watering the lawn. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and I hope you have a better green thumb than I do.